Ladies and gentlemen, you know things are serious when a federal judge is willing to retire from his post as a judge to hold this current administration accountable. Let's talk about that next on the Daily Rewind. What's going on, my beautiful people? What's going on? Welcome to the Daily Rewind with me, your boy HB. Hopefully, you guys had a good day today. No issues, no drama, and just living stress free and doing the best that you can do while we in these crazy times. I know it's a mess. But I came across this article from The Hill. Quote, a Reagan-appointed judge warned of existential threat to democracy in his resignation letter. Let's talk about it. Okay, a senior federal judge in Massachusetts appointed by former President Reagan said he resigned Friday in protest against President Orange Palpatine. U.S. District Judge Mark Wolf wrote in the Atlantic that he stepped down because, quote, he no longer can bear to be restrained by what judges can say publicly or do outside the courtroom, end quote. Wolf said, the White House assault on the rule of law is so deeply disturbing to me that I feel compelled to speak out. Silence for me is now intolerable. Mm, mm, mm. He goes on to say, because I'm not going to read all of this, but he goes on to say that Wolf also slammed the Department of Justice prosecution of former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James, as well as Orange Palpatine's social media post directed by Attorney General Pam Bondi asking her to prosecute Comey, James, and Senator Adam Schiff. He also said, quote, Trump has usually ignored this principle when it comes to the former judge argued that even if a prosecution ends in an acquittal, it can have devastating consequences for the defendant. Furthermore, Wolf wrote that the Justice Department ensure prosecutors do not seek an indictment unless they have sufficient admissible evidence to prove guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. He went on to criticize Trump's use of executive orders, calling them unconstitutional or otherwise illegal. He challenged Orange Palpatine calls for judges to be impeached, alleged corruption by Orange Palpatine and those in his orbit, and said attacks on the courts have led to real threat against judges. Quote, I have resigned in order to speak out, support litigation, and work with other individuals and organizations dedicated to protecting the rule of law and American democracy, end quote, Wolf wrote. Quote, I also intend to advocate for judges who cannot speak publicly for themselves. I cannot be confident that I will make a difference, Wolf concluded. I am reminded, however, of what Senator Robert F. Kennedy said in 1966 about ending apartheid in South Africa. Each time a man stands up for ideal, or acts to improve the lives of others, or strike out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope, enough for those ripples can become a tidal wave. End quote. Yo, you know it's real when you have a person that's dedicated their life to their career and stay to them and have stated to themselves, you know what? I'm willing to give up my career for the sake of what I believe is right and for the sake of democracy to hold this administration accountable. That's some real. That says a lot about his character, and it says a lot that we haven't even made it in year two yet. Things are about to get real, and I don't think people are ready for it. People has been warning about the threat of. We have been warning about the threat of democracy since before the election, and now you have people like this. He's not even a Democratic judge. He's a conservative judge appointed by a conservative president and willing to give up his career to hold this administration accountable because while he was on the bench, he couldn't say what the he wanted to say. So he felt as though it was important to him to end his career and do what he have to do to hold this administration accountable. That's what the I'm talking about. We need more people like that. This is what you're talking about: a person with a spine, a person with a backbone, a person that's willing to fight fire with fire, a person that's willing to get in the ring and fight. We have a lot of spineless mother that's scared and that's not willing to fight. But you got this man who said, "You know what? I'm willing to step away from my career to handle business." And we need more people like that. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you had a good day today. And I pray that you do your boy a favor. Like, share, subscribe, and come join the team over here at the Daily Rewind. I'd love to have you. You have a good day.